Saying I don't buy bread anymore is a bold statement, but once you see how easy these quick dinner rolls are to make, you'll know why I say just that. They are light, airy, but have a lovely crusty top, perfect for a multitude of uses. First up, we're going to add some water to a bowl, then add the yeast, followed by the sugar, and give it all a good mix. Now, I'll leave this covered for 10 minutes to see if the yeast is active. You can just carry on if you are sure your yeast is active, but I think this is good practice to get into. So, I am back after 10 minutes and I can see the bubbles and the water is actually moving. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera. This is a perfect sign and shows your yeast is fine and we can move on. Now you want to add flour, olive oil and salt. Now here I am using a bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour, but I will show you in a moment potentially what you need to do with bread flour. You want to mix the dough. I use a Danish dough whisk, but you can use the handle of a wooden spoon. My mix is far too dry, and that's because I used bread flour, which takes on a lot more water, so I need to add around 20 grams more water. The full recipe is in the description below. So, as you can see, that makes the mix more combined and wet. We do need to get our hands in the mix to make sure there are no dry bits. Little tip, so you don't get too messy, wet your hands before getting into the mix. Just a spoiler, your hands still will get messy, just not as messy with a wet hand. Once you have everything mixed and we are happy, we don't have any dry parts, we have a couple of options how we move forward. You want to cover your bowl. If you want to make your dinner rolls today, then you can leave it in the countertop in a warm place to double in size. This takes around 4 hours. However, if you want extra flavour, pop it in the fridge overnight. If you forget it, don't sweat it. This will last up to a week. It will get harder to work after 48 hours though, so keep that in mind. I always leave mine in the fridge overnight, so I'm back the next day here. I will generously flour the work surface and tip the dough into the flour. Then I will use a dough scraper to cut this like a pizza, giving me 8 different pieces. You can weigh them at this point if you really want to. I never do really. Shape them into little balls, trying not to knock too much of the air out of the dough. Once you have your balls all ready, we want to line an oven-proof dish with grease-proof paper. Pop the balls into the dish. As you can see, mine are not all perfectly the same, but that's fine. This is home baking after all. What you want to do is cover these with a damp cloth. I later covered these with cling film because my cloth was drying out. It was a super hot day. You want them to puff up, about double in size, around 2 hours this should take. Once they are looking like this, uncover them, pour some water between the dish and the greaseproof paper. Cover them with tin foil. I recommend you grease the tin foil so it doesn't stick. Place them in a preheated 220-degree oven for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes, uncover them and bake them for a further 15 to 20 minutes until they are golden and brown. Looking perfect. At this stage, if you want to give them a bakery feel, brush the top with butter. The top won't be as crusty if you do butter them, however, it will give a nice taste. We then want to remove them from the dish and allow them to cool completely. And that's how simple they are to make. They pull apart to give you separate buns and are soft, light and airy. Let me know if you make them and how you find them, and if you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe, it really helps me out. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.